going to go NBA on them. We going on the block. Got some NBA news we're going to talk about. We're going to kind of break down these playoffs. We saw round one end and recap that a little bit and then move on. We got some of these round two games going on. So we're just going to talk about it here for a second. Finish off round one here. We saw the Hawks win the series against my Knicks, which, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, one big shout out, Tom Thibodeau getting that coach of the year. Very much deserved it. That team played hard, man. I know New York fans were happy, man. We didn't think they were going to be there. They played hard, scratched and clawed to a fifth seed and made this thing happen. So, I mean, only getting one win in that series. I mean, still, I really honestly like the matchup between the Knicks and the Hawks, but the Knicks just kind of proved, I mean, one, if Julius Randle has an off night, there's no one really else on that team that's going to be able to pick up that scoring load like that. I know RJ Barrett's nice. Derrick Rose had a fantastic year, but they need a guy in that team that can get you 30 a night consistently. Julius Randle, obviously, kind of a meltdown performance during that series. Whether they extend him or not, I don't know. I think he should be a good, solid foundation piece for these Knicks going forward. But honestly, one man, big shout out Trae Young. The Hawks played great. Hawks played really good in that series. Trae Young, low-key, went like Mamba on him, dude. He was just like talking shit with the crowd, bro. He's spitting on him. Like, that shit was wild. And I got a lot of respect for Trae Young now. But big shout out, man, for the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of said it all there. I really did believe excuse me, I thought the Knicks would get at least one game. I thought this would be, 4-2 at the least here. But you said it. I mean, Julius Randle meltdown. And no one else was really to step up and was able to take that plate. I mean, looking at this last game here, 103-89 on a home game loss for the Knicks to get eliminated for the playoffs. It's not a good way to go out. But, playoffs aside, looking at the regular season, made it to the fifth seed, and they played some good fucking ball this year. So after just some really bad years prior, I mean, Knicks got to be feeling all right. So, hopefully that can bring in, one more piece. They need some form of elite score on that team to assist. So hopefully they can figure something out.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm happy to be a Knicks fan right now. I think we got good building blocks going to move forward. Same thing with the Hawks, though, man. I think they're going to be around for a minute. Trae Young keeps that up. We saw the Nuggets win the series against Portland Trailblazers, going 4-2 in that series, winning that in 6. And one, man, big shout out to Dame Lillard for going just dummy during that series, man. It was certainly Dame time. And I mean, unfortunately, this has kind of been the story of Dame's career, but Nuggets coming out, getting that win, man. Nikola Jokic, man, is on another level, man. And I saw this one happen for sure. There's
not much to say there. I mean, Trailblazers, you said it. This has just been the story for this team. I mean, what is it going to take? We thought CJ was going to be the answer, and he also had an incredible season, but just not enough to push him over that hump in the playoffs here. So obviously going off of a crazy opponent here, Denver Nuggets, who also had an incredible season. I mean, it's a tough series, tough fought, but couldn't get the job done here. So Denver gets the dub. They're going to go forward, play the Suns here in the semifinals. So shout out Denver, dude.
Yeah, we're going to get to these semifinals here in a second, but another series, the Suns getting over the Lakers in 6 games, which I don't think anybody expected at all. I know we didn't at all. And I mean, listen, man, Suns are just playing great basketball. I know Anthony Davis going down in that series for the Lakers might have had something to do with it. Maybe it didn't. I mean, I kind of thought LeBron would low-key just take over. And I mean, he didn't necessarily play bad. It's just I expected just some Kobe Jordan moment where he was just going to say, this is my shit and run it up. But I mean, honestly, man, I will defend the Lakers a little bit, dude. Besides AD and LeBron, brother, a lot of these players just Drummond wasn't doing nothing. Kyle Kuzma might be the biggest fraud in basketball right now. That dude is so inconsistent. Dennis Schroeder up in there, whether or not he's even going to play. And I mean, they got some nice pieces, KCP, Alex Caruso. And I know you kind of said throughout the year, if LeBron or someone wasn't on that team, that's still a playoff team. No fucking way.
I really thought it was, bro. And like looking at it on paper, it still looks like that to me, but just the pieces couldn't come together, couldn't be a solid team, and it wasn't working out. I mean, Montrezl Harrell in the offseason before the season started, we were expecting him to blow this shit up over there in the Lakers. We were like, no way they got him. He really didn't do that much. I mean, good board, man, but you just kind of said it, man. I don't know. With AD going down and LeBron just, I don't know what it was. He just never hit that switch And I was expecting him to. I mean, these past 17 years, he's had that switch and it's just gone dummy in the playoffs. And then we just didn't see it.
Listen, dude, he's 36, 17, 18 years in the league. I mean,
he can't do it himself anymore.
We might be seeing, like, especially in the past 2 years, LeBron now for 2 years in a row has had a substantial injury. He's been out for some time, which he never had in his career. So, I mean, maybe I just don't want to believe it, man. Maybe LeBron James is finally going to start to slow down now. You know what I mean? And I think a LeBron that's slowed down is still like 26-6 a night, which is crazy. But we're so used to LeBron just being astronomically great that, him not performing like that, we just think is so bad. When he actually, in all reality, he did have a pretty damn good series. It's just
no, for sure. But it's obviously his fault when they don't win. He's the heart of that team. But I was expecting a lot more out of this Lakers season as a whole. I mean, they lost. So they had to play in the play-in tournament, bro. The Lakers lost so many games that I didn't think they were going to lose. So blame it on injury, blame it on whatever. But they just couldn't really figure it out this year.
Yeah, Suns had the better team in that series so far. But last series we got here, round one, we got some Game 7 craziness going on. We got the Clippers winning against the Mavs. Clippers winning at home.
Bro, that Game 7 was insane.
Game 7 was insane. Two things here I want to point out. One, Luka Doncic, that was historical on his end. I mean, that 7-game series, I mean, that was – Luka Doncic is going to be around for a minute. That if you don't like Luka Doncic, you don't like basketball. Watching that dude play ball is just on some next level. He's not even really all that athletic. He's pretty much, to me, a guard version of Joker. Just these guys that are all about this technique and finesse and the way that dude can slither in and out to the basket. Luka's going to be great, man. It's just another thing where that supporting cast – didn't really back him up the way he should have. I mean, there were a couple of games where Luka kind of just did the damn thing himself, but there were some moments, man, where Porzingis was needed, Tim Hardaway Jr. was needed, and just weren't really able to make it happen.
I mean, even the bench, too, on the Mavs, they won a lot of games off the bench, and they did not perform in this series.
But the other side of things, man, on the Clippers side, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard low-key played phenomenal. Kawhi Leonard, I mean, also in that series went insane. That might have been the best, easily the first round, but that might have been one of the best series I've ever seen Kawhi play in. And this is a 2 times finals MVP, but he played phenomenal basketball, came down the stretch. So there were a couple games, man, where they had some rough fourth quarters. I know especially Game 1, Game 3, they had some rough third quarters and Paul George, playoff P. But that was a crazy series, man. I hope, whether it's the Clippers or the Mavs, bro, the Mavs, man, that's such a young, feisty, scrappy team, man. And I did still think the Clippers were going to win this series. I think they just have the better team overall. And I mean, Kawhi Leonard, man, did his damn thing.
I'm real high on the Clippers right now. You said it. That's it, bro. Shout out Clippers getting that dub at home, Game 7, round 1 of the playoffs. I mean, that's just a huge, huge W.
All right, so we're going to move on. We got round 2 we're going to talk about. We're going to start out in the East. We're going to talk about the fucking Milwaukee Bucks and the Brooklyn Nets. I know
what's going on right now.
So, I mean, Milwaukee comes out and gets blown out in Game 2 here. And I mean, listen, I don't know. I have to – I feel like stick by what I said. I think the Bucks can win this series in these 2 games. I mean, especially with Harden going out with his injury and still the Bucks still getting blown out. I don't know what's happened, man. I just expected Giannis to just be able to win this series. But on Brooklyn's side of things, man, I got to give Brooklyn a lot of credit. I know how good Kyrie and KD are, but they're getting huge production. One out of Blake Griffin.
Oh, yeah.
Those first 2 games, man, just to me, the energy, the tone of the game, the pace was set by Blake Griffin, especially in Game 1. Just his energy coming out there and playing and the way he was diving on the ball for loose balls and, loose balls. But just he kind of set the tone for me there. And Brooklyn took off and never kind of really looked back. That Game 2 was low-key just kind of embarrassing. They
kept it close Game 1 here, but they just got stomped up. I mean, obviously off night for the Bucks. I mean, 86-125.
That's gross.
On the road. I mean, they get the next 2 games at home, looking for an obvious turnaround here, but Giannis can't do it himself, and we've been saying this all season. Obviously, they got Chris Middleton and squad, but they got to step up. They got to play better. That's that point blank. That's what it is. We got next game, June 10th, 2 days from now at 7:30. So a little bit of rest period here, but I mean, Bucks just got to reevaluate. They got to figure out how to score more points.
Yeah, no, definitely need to get a little more efficient on the offense for sure. And I mean, I don't know this 2 game. I don't know if this might have broke the Bucks or if they can scratch and claw back and even this series.
I think if the Nets win Game 3, that might be a
Out.
sweep. I don't think they're coming back from that.
No, that's unfortunate too because I mean I really thought the Bucks would be able to be better than that, but I don't know. That's going to be a fun next game to watch. See if the Bucks can come out and redeem themselves. But next series we got going on right now is the Atlanta Hawks, Philadelphia 76ers. The Hawks getting game 1 over the 76ers with crazy end to this game. Just a little back and forth.
Bro, it took like 26 minutes.
Bro, it did, bro. There was like 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, bro. I was there for an hour watching that bullshit. And I mean, listen, here's my thing. I mean, Hawks obviously riding a really good high of getting a huge series win over the Knicks in a good feisty series. And like I said, I don't know if this is one of those situations where they come out hot, they win the game 1, kind of catch Philly off guard a little bit. Because I think 76ers from every matchup standpoint has the better squad, no doubt.
Let me tell you something.
But this might be Philadelphia 76ers we've been seeing, bro. They just look really good regular season team, good players, and just fuck around and choke in the playoffs, bro. They've been doing this.
It's
unfortunate if they do it to the Hawks.
But let me tell you, though, and you touched on this last time we did one of these episodes, but if the 76ers were more efficient on their free throws, they win this game by 12 points. That's it.
Point guard,
they
bro.
lost by 4 games, and they were like, I forget, I didn't write down the percentage, but they were like less than, right around 50-60% from free throws. I mean, they're free. You got to hit the shot.
You're not going to win games shooting that low. You're not going to win games because that's what's going to happen. Your point guard can't shoot a fucking lick. But
I take it away during regular play. Ben Simmons has to make free throws. It doesn't matter who you have to make free throws. And look, I'm going to say the same point again. They win this game by 12 points if they only miss 2 free throws versus 12.
I mean, Ben Simmons, and I mean, I say the same thing about Giannis. The Mavs could have possibly won that series if Luka could have been able to hit his free throws, man. We're starting to see that a lot. A lot of these guys, man, just kind of missing their free throws that aren't really shooting like that. These free throws matter. Like you said, they're free. So, I mean, dude, it's free.
I mean, you do all the work to get the foul on the offensive side. You get them to take the charge, whatever, etc. But got to hit those, bro. I mean, I
don't know, bro. I got the Hawks
insane.
I got the Hawks in 6.
No, I still think Sixers win this. We got game 2 coming up tonight, actually, at 7:30 p.m., 6-8 on them. So we'll see what happens. I'm very surprised that Philly lost that game 1.
Trae Young about to drop 40.
He's going to do that the whole series, but I have faith in this Sixers team. I think they can do it. Like I said, they just got to clean up a little bit better on defense, guard that perimeter a little bit better. I mean, Atlanta's got some shooters, but as well as hit the fucking free throws, dude. It's going to drive me through the wall.
Yeah, no, definitely excited to watch how that series unfolds for sure. Going to move on to the next series, though, with another, I think, kind of surprising win. It's the Suns getting game 1 over the Denver Nuggets, winning that joint at home. And, I mean, are the Suns legit, bro?
They fucking might be the best team in the league.
Devin Booker, obviously insane. Huge production out of the big man, DeAndre Ayton, who I know this year, I think he missed some games. He was suspended for some BS. But this man, for being a number 1 overall pick about 3-4 years ago, is finally kind of starting to come into his own. I heard Shaq was talking about him and stuff like that, and I agree a lot. This man's finally coming in and understanding his role with this team. Mikal Bridges has been out there lighting fires. And, I mean, the Suns team is crazy. I mean, between, the Ayton Joker matchup, I think is great, and then I think if we're looking at the Suns, man, they might have more weapons.
That's a good point, man. I like this Suns team as a whole coercive unit more than the Nuggets, honestly. I think the Nuggets have obviously more star power here, but I mean, these Suns are just on a fucking run, dude. I mean, it's insane. I'm literally shocked that they even won the series.
There's always one in the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. And then they took game 1 here against the Nuggets. So, I mean, this is insane, man. I mean, 105 to 122, that's pretty dominant win. So,
well, see, that's the thing. I think getting the win over the Nugget or the Suns getting the series win over the Lakers is actually a huge telling, man. I mean, the Lakers are a tough defensive team. And I mean, like you said, it's just a whole unit, 1 through 15, man. The Suns are figuring out that shit over there in Phoenix. So big hype to watch this series, man. I've been on Devin Booker's nuts since he got drafted, and I love me some Chris Paul. So I would love to see the Suns fuck around and do this thing, for sure. But we got one more series in this round 2 about to go underway tonight, 10 p.m. That is the Los Angeles Clippers versus the Utah Jazz. And I mean, the way I see this series playing out, I mean, to me, though, I like the Clippers, obviously. I know the Rudy Gobert matchup, there's not really anything for him, but Rudy Gobert is not really getting buckets like that. So I just think between the wing, I know Utah can shoot. But I mean, I think between Bev and Kawhi and PG, that perimeter wing defense from the
Rudy
Clippers,
Gobert is not stopping Kawhi. I'll tell you
they're
that.
going to be able to stop the Jazz. Oh, I don't think. Well, I mean, to me, Rudy Gobert isn't an offensive threat at all. So you can just let him do whatever. But
I mean, yeah, he's probably going to be a decoy here. I mean, to have incredible season, but
Donovan Mitchell's going to score 80.
I cannot believe, or I don't believe that he will lock up Kawhi. There's no way.
Yeah, I don't know. If Kawhi can just do like 80% what he just did in that Mavericks series, bro, that's going to be dangerous. They're going to go on a run.
I do think this is going to be a competitive series, though. I wouldn't be surprised to see this one go 6 or 7 again, which is a tough road in the playoffs for the Clippers here, just getting off of Game 7. But I think this is going to be another long one here. I mean, these are two very good teams, so I'm excited to see this one start off tonight.
Definitely excited to see this one. I got the Milwaukee Bucks meeting the Phoenix Suns in the finals right now.
Listen, just sounds weird to say that.
Yeah, that is crazy to say, but definitely hyped to watch the rest of these games.
Perfect.